Hi folks, welcome. Tonight we're building up to a half moon pose. And before we get started, I thought we would discuss props. So I like to use a block when I'm practicing half moon to provide a little bit of stability and allow the floor to come to me in the balancing pose. But if you're at home and your home practice doesn't have a block available to you, you can certainly use other things that are available in your home. Perhaps you've got a chair around that you can have ready for the top of your mat. As long as this chair is stable and not on wheels, it would serve the purpose perfectly. Or you can get creative. Perhaps there's a stool or a cajon laying around. Anything that's strong and stable that allows you to place your hand on it and provide that extra little bit of support while we're in our balancing pose. Hi, welcome. Just choose a seated pose to start in that is comfortable for you. I've popped myself up on my yoga block, but you might have a folded blanket or pillows around that you might want to pop yourself up on. Give a little bit of space. If having your knees out wide is not comfy, then allow your feet to go whatever way position that feels good for your body. So it might be one leg out and one leg bent, whatever works for you, just so that you can sit really nice and tall. That's the point here. We just want to sit nice and tall. Let's go ahead and take a collective big breath in, filling ourselves up as far as we can, and then a big old sigh out. Welcoming ourselves to our practice here tonight. Allowing ourselves to settle into our seated pose. Inviting ourselves to grow tall out of our root. Perhaps we close our eyes or just soften our gaze to the floor in front of us. Noticing the breath flowing. Noticing the quality of the breath without changing it, just drawing your attention and noticing. Allows us to become more present here in this moment. Tonight we will be reflecting our light as the full moon, which is coming in 2 days, will soon reflect its light down onto us. We'll shine and reflect out to the world all the light that we have in us. Let's go ahead and start deepening our breath a little bit, inviting the breath to go a little bit further down into the torso, perhaps heading down into the belly and down to our root. Just nice and slowly exhaling that breath. And continuing in this way, allowing the breath to fill the upper torso, the ribs, and allow the belly to be expanding, the back to expand down to our roots. And then exhale to soften. And continuing these big, yummy breaths, let's begin to add some movement. Allowing the inhale to have the hands lift off the lap, rising up only as far as the inhale will let them go. And as the exhale begins, allow the hands to travel back down to the lap. The inhale's letting the hands lift up. Exhale releases down. Just continuing in your own breath pattern here. Filling and expanding the hands. Exhaling and softening everything back down. Just again, further centering ourselves into this moment, bringing ourselves to this present moment in our class. Next time our hands come back down to our thighs, They'll stay there. We'll take one more inhale, and on the following exhale, allow the left hand to travel to the right knee. You can continue to allow the right hand to travel further behind you, adding a little bit extra twist, or leave the right hand on your lap, your choice. We're sitting nice and tall here with our crown over our heart, over our pelvis. One more big breath in here, and then exhale to untwist. We'll take that in between inhale to lengthen up really tall through the spine again. And on the exhale, right hand comes to left knee. That might be enough, or you may continue with the left hand reaching behind you, taking the twist a little further. Again, both sit bones firmly planted and growing tall from those sit bones, right to the crown. Last big inhale here, and as we exhale, we'll untwist. All right, let's dive forward to our tabletop position. If you were sitting on a block, you'll want that block up towards the front of your mat for later. So coming to our tabletop position, we're making sure that our wrists are landing on our shoulders, knees under hips. Hands are spread really wide so we can claw the mat. Pushing away from the mat, really finding length from tail to crown, toning through the belly. Perhaps we have a little smile to our face. And then begin with the next inhale, dropping the belly, shine the heart, lift the chin, cow pose. Exhale, rounds the back and drops the head. Continuing back and forth, your own breath pattern. We'll take a few more rounds. Just allowing our breath to lead the way again. Just as our breath led the hand movements, allow the breath to lead the spinal flexion. One last final round here of an inhale and an exhale. And we'll all return to that flat back tabletop position. All right, make sure we're clawing into those hands nice and strong, tall through the body. Next inhale sends the right heel out long behind you, like you're standing on the wall behind you. Toes are dialed down to 12 o'clock. Think of lifting from the inner right thigh. We're balancing a little bit already. You might want to add some ankle circles, spinning the toes one way and then the other. Check to see if your right hip has hiked up further than your left. And can you bring it back down so it's still level with the earth? One more big breath in here. Exhale, let's lower our knee to the earth. Inhale sends the left foot out long behind you, pushing out through the heel, lifting up from the inner left thigh. We can begin to add those ankle circles, spinning the toes one way. Still staying level with the hips, making sure that left hip isn't traveling up. I know it's hard work to keep it level. You're doing great. Spin the ankle the other way. Last big inhale here. Make sure you're nice and tall, pushing away from the mat. And then exhale allows the left knee to come to the earth. Beautiful. All right, we're going to come to lie on our side. Let's go ahead and lie on our right side first. We're lying on our side with our right arm being used as a pillow perhaps. Or you might want to grab that block, your choice. We're making sure that our crown, our shoulders, our hips, and our feet are all in alignment. Our knees can be bent in front of us. Then we're going to take our top leg and extend it out nice and long and just let it rest on the earth. So we're basically standing up on one foot by laying down. All right, so the left foot is out nice and long. We're going to flex the toes towards the kneecap here. On our next inhale, go ahead and lift the heel up, lifting the leg up a little bit. Now, we're going to take one little peek and make sure that the toes are not leading the way. So we want our foot to stay parallel to the earth. Next, exhale, allow the foot to come down slow and with control. Inhale, lifts the heel back up. Exhale, lowers us down. One more. Inhale, come on up. Make sure those toes are not leading the way. Exhale, come on down. Beautiful. Let's come to lie on our backs. Lying on our backs with our shoulders snuggled underneath our body. Knees bent, soles of the feet on the earth. We're going for a couple little bridge pose pulses. So our feet are parallel to each other, fairly close to our bottoms. Take a deep breath in to make sure we're nice and tall through the torso. Exhale, we tone the belly by pulling 2 hip points together. And then inhale, we lift the hips. Exhale, we come on back down. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, come on back down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come on back down. Let's do one more for good measure. Inhale, lift the hips. Pushing into the big toes. Exhale, come on down. All right, let's flip over to the other side. So we're coming to lie on our left side. I'm gonna spin around just so that I'm facing you here. But just rolling over to your left side, using our left arm as a pillow. We have our top of our crown, our shoulders, our hips, and our feet in alignment here. Knees are bent in front of us. Let's extend the right leg out nice and long. Let it rest on the earth. Making sure that the right hip is stacked over the left hip and isn't pulling back in space. See if you can keep that hip stacked. Next, inhale, lifts the heel up, keeping the foot parallel to the earth. Exhale, come on back down. Nice and slow and control here. Inhale, up we go. Exhale, come on back down. We're building this half moon right from the earth. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, down. Last one. Inhale, heel up, foot parallel to the earth. Exhale, nice and slow. Come on down. Beautiful. Pop up into your tabletop again. We're in our tabletop. Wrist under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's go ahead and walk our hands ahead just ever so slightly, maybe 1 handprint forward. We'll curl our toes under, take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, lift our hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal your puppy out, dropping 1 heel and bending the other knee. Think of pushing into all 10 fingerprints evenly and extending all the way up through your arms, up through your side bodies, feeling your hip creases being pulled up and back. Come to stillness in your dog, bending your knees as much as you need to keep that tall, long length through the spine. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk, skip, jump, hop, forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway, long and tall. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This time we're going to hang here. So let's place our hands on our thighs. Roll our shoulders back. Really think of pulling our sit bones back towards the back wall and our crown towards the front of the wall, the front of the room. Really nice and long here, toning through the belly to find that support. Bend your knees if you need to keep that long, tall length through the spine. One more big breath in here. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your hands all the way up. And exhale, let the hands come down. Okay, we landed in Tadasana. Let's check to make sure our feet are parallel to each other and about hip width apart. If that's not great for your knees or hips, you can take your feet out a little bit. Keeping those feet firmly planted, we'll inhale and sweep our hands all the way up over our head, palms come to touch. On the exhale, we tip our hands over to the right for a little crescent stretch, keeping the left hip firmly planted. Inhale draws us back up to center. Exhale, we fold or we crescent over to the left, right hip planted. Inhale, we come back up. Exhale, over we go. Let's drop the right hand. Watch the right hand drop. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, over to the left. Left hand drops. We watch the hand. Inhale, watch the hand all the way to the top. Exhale, over to the right. Drop the right hand. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, over to the left. Drop your left hand. Inhale, come on up. Stay there. Exhale your hands down through your heart center. Beautiful. Okay, So the moon shines its beautiful light as a reflection of the sun, so we must salute the sun first. So we're going to finish warming up our bodies here with our sun salute, traditional version. So nice and grounded through those feet. Let's take a full breath in and out together first. So here we go, big breath in, big breath out, and now we add movement. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stretch your right foot back, runner's lunge. Exhale, left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to your plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin down to the earth. Inhale, lengthen up for your cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, lengthen. Exhale, left foot forward, fold. Inhale, sweep your hands all the way up. Exhale, release the hands. Here we go, second side. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left foot back, runner's lunge. Exhale, right foot back, downward dog. Inhale, forward to your plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin down to the earth. Inhale, lengthen for your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, lengthen. Exhale, right foot forward, fold. Inhale, let's sweep our hands all the way up. And a big ol' exhale as we let the hands go. Beautiful. Here we go. Inhale, send those hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's plant our hands and step ourselves back to our down dog. Take a second to really push into the hands. Send the sit bones up and back. You might think of rotating the biceps out a little bit. Exteriorly rotating the arm bones here. Still pushing into the hands. On exhale, we'll lower our knees down to the earth. We're back in that tabletop position. Making sure that the wrists are underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. Keeping our hands spread really nice and wide here. I'm going to claw the mat and provide a big foundation. So we're going to take that half moon from the ground in this position. Not sure where I was going with that. All right, let's extend the left toes out, but we're going to keep the left toes on the earth this time. So we're kind of like in a plank position with one knee on the earth, the right knee on the earth. We'll start here. Let's tone through the belly and then pivot on the left toes and allow the left foot to come to the earth, kind of parallel to the back of the earth. So the left foot is kind of looking like it's in warrior two, basically. It's behind the right foot. You may stay here and practice balancing just right here. Or if you're looking for a little more, the left hand is going to start reaching up to the sky like a big old twist. So now we're on our right hand, our right knee, and our left foot. If you're looking for a little bit more stability, swing that right foot off the right edge of your mat and create a little bit of a kickstand. You're staying here and breathing, or you're going to add a little extra by lifting the left foot off the earth, just like we did in our leg lifts. So we've taken it one step further off the earth. Beautiful breath in. Exhale, everybody release back down to tabletop. Woo, baby. Let's take our toes to touch, our knees wide. Big breath in. And exhale, release yourself back for your child's pose, hips to heels. If your wrists are looking for a little bit of support, go ahead and rock the wrists or take them in some circular motions. Since we're here in this child's pose, we'll take one big breath in, filling right down to our bellies, and a big old sigh out. Give it back to the earth. Use our inhale to push ourselves back up to our tabletop position. Knees back under our hips. So you know where we're going. We're going to our second side. So we really want that left hand to be our foundation and our base. So spread those fingers wide and claw the mat.
Let's extend the right leg out long like we're in plank. So our right toes are on the earth, finding long length from tail to crown and from tail to heel. Beautiful. If you're looking for a little bit more, we're going to pivot on those right toes and bring the right foot behind the left. So we're landing in our warrior two with our right foot. You may stay right here. This might be enough of a balance challenge for you, but if you're looking for a little bit more, we're going to lift that right hand way up to the sky. If you're looking for a little bit of support in this pose, the left foot can come off the left side of the mat, just pivoting on the left knee, a little bit of a kickstand. If you're looking for a little bit more heat, the right leg starts lifting up, keeping the foot parallel to the earth. We're breathing big love in here, big love out. Exhale, everybody come back down, tabletop position. Whew. Let's all take one big breath in and a big old breath out. We are definitely shining like the moon. Curl our toes under. Big breath in as we lift our hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk, skip, jump, hop, your choice. Forward fold, top of the mat. Use your next inhale to lift you halfway, hands to the thigh, really extending all the way through your crown, past your crown. Roll those shoulders onto the back body. Keeping tone through the belly here, feel the support. Big breath in, and exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your hands all the way up. Exhale, let that go. All right. So we're slowly building up to this half moon. We're finally in a standing pose attempting it, but we'll do some fun stuff before we get there. So if you are looking to have a block to support you in a half moon or a chair or something, you'll want that at the top of your mat now. I'm going to do a few poses beforehand, but having that handy will be helpful. If you don't have a block or a chair or something, just pushing yourself over so that you're standing facing your couch and you're a foot and a half from your couch, that would work too. Okay, let's keep the right foot really grounded. Feel a lot of your weight shifting over into the right foot. Push down from the hip right into the heel. Extend nice and tall, right from the heel, nice and tall. Let's use a big exhale to tone the belly and lift the left knee up in front of us. You might want to hold on to the knee, or the toes might rest on the block or the chair in front of you. We're in this one-legged Tadasana. Taking a big breath in here and a big breath out. Our next inhale might lift our hands up to the sky. And everyone exhale and step back for your high lunge, landing on your toes. So we're reminding ourselves that taking our feet further apart widthwise on our mat creates a little bit more stability in these balancing poses. Once you find this great stance for you and you feel comfortable, we'll take one more inhale to shine our heart a little bit taller. And on the exhale, sweep your hands down and back. Hinging at the hips, allow your torso to move forward 45 degrees. So now I'm in this great big Superman pose, or it looks like I'm trying to look into a pond that's on the edge of my mat here. Inhale sends our hands back up to our original position. Exhale, back down with those Superman arms, lean forward. Inhale, up we come. Hands up above the head like a big beach ball. Exhale, come on back down. Superman arms looking into the pond. Anything cool there? Inhale, hands come back up. Let's stay here this time. We're going to pivot on those back toes again. So pivoting on the left toes, dropping our foot. We've landed in warrior two. We can open our hands up front to back. So our left toes are pointing to 9 o'clock and our right toes are pointing to 12 o'clock. Nice and strong and tall here. Let's add that support through our legs by imagining our heels squeezing together engaging through the legs, pulling our hip points into center in the lower belly, providing that little bit of support, and pulling up from the pelvic floor. You can feel all kinds of support. We'll take a big breath in while we're here. And on the exhale, bend at the right elbow, allow the right forearm to come to the right thigh. Left hand reaches up and over for our Parsvakonasana. Keeping that stability in our legs to really support us. We're breathing big love in here and big love out. We'll use our next inhale to swing us back up to our warrior two. Now this is where we're going to get funky with it and fly that half moon. So you might want to shorten your stance a little bit by bringing your back foot closer just a little bit. Get a little bend in that front knee going, a little moving and grooving. When you feel ready, our right hand is going to reach forward for that block or chair. And then when you feel ready, the back leg will lift up off the earth. So we've pivoted ourselves forward. We're now parallel to the earth with our back leg. We may lift our left hand way up to the sky. Half moon, shine like the moon. One more big breath in here. Exhale, back down to your warrior two. Woo. Inhale, look forward over that front hand. And exhale, walk yourself forward. Woo, give that a shake up. All right, so if you're using your block, you'll want to place your block in front of your left foot this time. Okay, here we go. Let's put all of our weight into our left foot. Feeling heavy right through the heel, connected to the earth. From the hip all the way down to the heel is pushing. And from the hip up, we're growing and rising. So much so that we feel ready on our next exhale to tone our belly and peel the right toes off the earth and lift the knee up. Perhaps we hold on to the knee. We're breathing while we're here. Finding something to stare down when we're in balancing poses provides that extra little bit of stability. Something that isn't moving. Give our eyes that stability. Our next inhale, we may let go of our knee and rise our hands. And everyone will use our exhale to step back with your right toes, landing in that high lunge. Again, let's take a second to figure out our foundation. So our feet might come further apart, widthwise on the mat. Find a stance that suits you in this high lunge. We're still keeping that belly toned, pulling the belly away from the thigh. Take a big breath in as we lengthen up through the body. And exhale as we swoosh our hands down and back, leaning our torso 45 degrees forward. Inhale, we come back up to that lunge. Hands up above the head, nice and tall through the torso. Exhale, hands swoop down. We lean forward, look over the edge of your mat. Inhale, up comes the hands. Exhale, Spider-Man arms. Beautiful. Inhale, hands come up. This time they're going to stay there. We pivot on the back toes, landing the back foot parallel to the back of the mat. So our right toes are pointing to 3 o'clock, left toes 12 o'clock. Let's take a big breath in and use our exhale to bring our hands down parallel to the earth, reaching forwards and backwards into our warrior two. Beautiful. Let's get some power and light going through this warrior two by pulling the heels together. Feeling that engagement come all the way up through the legs and glutes, toning the two hip points together into the midline. And pulling up from the pelvic floor. Taking a big breath in here, keeping that engagement. We use our exhale to bend our left elbow, allow our left arm to come down to our left thigh. Right hand reaches up and overhead. Strong through the legs, keeping the engagement. breathing while we're here. One big breath in. Let's use our exhale to come back up to our warrior two. All right, folks, here we go. If we're taking the half moon ride, this is when we're gonna do it. So just allowing you to take the version that you want. When you feel ready, we'll lean forward, allowing our left hand to come to the block or the chair. Change the weight into the front leg as the right leg lifts up into the sky. Remember, you can take whatever version you want. You may keep this moon grounded. When you feel nice and strong and stable, you may increase the shining by lifting the right hand to the sky. Keeping everything engaged, squeezing the legs together, even though they're going different directions. Reaching out through the fingertips and out through the heel. One more big breath in. Woo. Exhale down our warrior two. Almost didn't make it there. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step forward. Mountain pose, top of the mat. Give it a shake out. Whew. Okay. Feet are grounded. Let's take a big breath in and slowly reach our hands out and up. Use our exhale to bring our hands down through heart center as we forward fold. Allowing ourselves to hang heavy here. Allow your knees to bend as much as they need to. Rest your belly on your thigh, or perhaps the forearms on your thigh. If it's okay with your back and your hands are down towards the earth, really allow everything to grow heavy. Allow the shoulders to come to the ears and the head to melt towards the earth. One more big breath in. Open the mouth and let the air out. All right, plant your hands and step yourself back, landing in your tabletop position. You worked hard for those half moons, shining bright like our full moon. Let's slow it down with some cat and cows again, dropping the belly, shining the heart on the inhale, lifting the chin. Exhale, rounding through the back and dropping the head. Continuing back and forth just for a few breath cycles here. After your next exhale, we'll find that flat back position. We'll take our toes to touch and our knees wide. Using our next exhale, allow those hips to sink back to the heels. Perhaps we support ourselves by stacking our hands underneath our forehead. Just allowing our body to come to stillness. If child's pose is not comfy in your body and you don't find this a relaxing pose, go ahead and lie yourself out on your belly. And stack your hands under your forehead. We're allowing our breath to be full, inviting it to slow down a little. Many people who practice full moon rituals believe that the full moon is a time of release, of letting go what does not serve you. So perhaps in this quiet time, you may exhale back to Mother Earth what does not serve you. And if you'd like to release, but you're not quite sure what it is you're releasing, just simply saying, I release what no longer serves me. If none of that is your jam, then these long exhales equally serve our body to calm our bodies down. Last full breath in, make it a good exhale, letting it all go. Push yourself back up. Tabletop just long enough so that we can swing our feet around. Come to a seated pose. We'll take our legs out long in front of us and draw the right foot into the left thigh. So the sole of the right foot is on the left thigh. Right knee's out to the side, supported as necessary. We'll sit really nice and tall here. And if your back's already talking to you, you'll stay right where you are, placing your hands behind you, keeping yourself nice and tall. If you've got a little bit more space, you may wish to exhale and fold at the hips, allowing the chest to come forward. Keeping long through the spine though. We really want that length to stay from tail to crown. Taking just a couple breaths here. Last full breath in. We'll use our exhale to tone our belly and draw ourselves back up. Right leg goes out, left leg comes in. So the sole of the left foot is against the inside of the right thigh. Finding those sit bones and adjusting yourself so you're sitting nice and tall. We take that honest touch base. If your back's talking to you, place your hands next to your hips. Sit nice and tall and shine from here. If you wish to add extra, you exhale, fold at the hip, allowing the heart to melt towards the leg. Hands resting wherever serves you. Reminding ourselves that it's not a race or a certain point we're trying to hit. Just allowing our heart to melt to that comfortable spot for you. Still staying tall from tail to crown. Turning our attention to those long exhales. Last full breath in here. Exhale, tones and draws you back up. We'll send both feet in front of you. May wish to bend your knees and slowly roll yourself onto your back. Once you land there, the soles of the feet on the earth and the knees up to the sky, snuggling the shoulder blades underneath. Go ahead and allow your knees to fall to the right. Just going as far as they want. If the left shoulder pops up off the floor, that's okay. We're breathing while we're here. Perhaps the left shoulder can remain heavy on the earth and the left hand can reach out to the side a little bit. Reminding ourselves to just take what serves us in this moment. Using our exhale, we'll draw our knees back up to center. Hands into our body. Readjust, making sure you're nice and tall through the torso again. Using a big inhale to lengthen. And then the exhale allows the knees to drop to the left side this time. It's okay if the right shoulder pops up. Just taking as much of the twist as you want. Once the legs settle, you may draw your attention to the shoulder and see if it wishes to soften down to the earth. Perhaps opening the hand, palm up to the sky, provides a little bit of space for the shoulder to drop. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. Just big breath in here. Exhale, draw your knees up to your center again. And then draw the knees into the chest. Big ol' hug. You might want to rock side to side like we usually do. Or take your knees in big circles one way and then the other. Then we'll go ahead and take the biggest inhale we've taken all day. Squeeze tight while we're inhaling. Breathe, 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 breathe. And then exhale, let yourself fall. Now you falling into Shavasana might mean that your arms come to your side and your legs go out long. It might mean that your knees are bent and your feet are on the earth.
wherever we are, we're finding that comfortable place that serves us, allows us to surrender and melt into the mat. We allow our body to grow heavy and weighted through the back of the head and shoulders, back of the hips and heels. And into this weightedness, we invite a softening through the jaw, the front of the shoulders, arms and hands. We invite our chest and belly to let go, melt towards our back body. Allow the legs and feet to release. And as we spend a few moments lying here, you may wish to play with a little imagery. You may wish to imagine yourself in your favorite place outdoors, under the light of a full moon. Perhaps your favorite camping spot, the beach. Allowing the warmth of the calming light of the full moon to be with you. The quiet and stillness to provide you an opportunity to spend time with just your breath. As we bring ourselves back, you might notice the sounds in the room, temperature of the room. You might invite your breath to deepen and small movements to come to your body. Allowing your body to lead you in growing those movements in a way that serves you. And when you feel ready, make your way to a side of your choice. Pausing there for a moment. Pushing into the earth. We return to a seated position. We'll draw our hands to heart center. May you be healthy and safe. And may you forever know the love that surrounds you. Namaste.